Okay, well, thank you all for being here again. Our co-chairs are Yasi Delgado and Joe Palisic. They're unable to be here today, but on behalf of them and the entire exec committee, we thank you for being here. General funding disclaimer is right here. Just letting you know that the views expressed in this presentation do not express those of our funders. Okay, now we're going to start off with the welcome from our Youth Advisory Council, the Youth Advocates for Change, who represent students from District 211 schools. So here we go.
Hello, Coalition members. My name is Arya Shah. I'm a junior at Conant High School and a YAC leader. In School District 211, YAC stands for Youth Advocates for Change.
And I am Lucia Lin. I am a senior at Fremd High School and I'm also a YAC leader.
Lucia.
Yes, Arya?
I am so excited.
Because it's Wednesday?
No.
Because it's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow?
No.
Because you got a new pair of flip-flops?
No. I'm excited because you told me that at today's meeting, we are going to find out the theme of this year's CPYD Youth-Led Town Hall meeting.
That's right. In the YAC report today, the theme will be released.
So, can you tell us right now?
I can, but I won't.
All right, but maybe you can share with us what the town hall meeting is.
Absolutely. As we all know, the CPYD Coalition has regular meetings throughout the year.
You mean like this one?
Yes, just like this one. And when the coalition was formed, it was decided that once a year, the youth would lead the coalition's town hall meeting.
So, who is invited to this meeting?
Well, first and foremost, everyone here. In fact, it is a goal of the YAC this year to have every sector of the community present and recognized at this year's town hall meeting.
What about the youth?
Of course, youth voice is at the heart of the town hall meeting. The town hall meeting is for youth, parents, every sector of the community, and any community members who want to learn more or get involved in prevention.
And when is this town hall meeting?
The town hall meeting is Wednesday, May 11th in the evening.
And where is the town hall held?
The town hall will be in person at the Trickster Cultural Center.
And what is the town hall theme?
Nice try.
All right, I'll wait, but maybe we should start the meeting soon so I won't have to wait as long.
That sounds like a perfect idea. And I want to start this meeting by saying thank you. Thank you to every person here. Thank you to every sector. We as youth need you.
That's right. We need you because it takes a coalition, every sector of the community working together to create a healthy, safe, supportive, and productive community for everyone.
So welcome to the CPYD Coalition meeting.
Great. So with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next section. Gina from Trickster Cultural Center will open the meeting or provide us with the land acknowledgement. Are you here, Gina?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Just thank you all for coming. Just a reminder that we are on the traditional homelands of the three fires, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. Many native cultures have passed through and settled here since time immemorial, including the Second Fox, Meskwaki, Iowa, Miami, and others, and want to acknowledge that we are still here today, stewarding the land and creating cultural connections and engaging with our community. And just wanted to thank you for space to allowing us to recognize and acknowledge those who've came before us and those present, and also bless us with the work so that we can create a better space for those in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. All right, so here's today's agenda. Obviously, we started off with that YAC welcome. Now we're gonna review the agenda, then we'll move into announcements, Youth Advisory Council updates. Beth Farr from our Data Strategic Planning Subcommittee will lead us through some CPYD Coalition basics. we'll go through some coalition business, and then we'll have an update or a presentation from the Students Consulting for Nonprofit Organizations, which is a student-led group in Northwestern. They're going to provide us with a report. And then we'll move into the bulk of our meeting, which will be led by Daryl Pass, a capacity building section on gambling awareness. And then we'll conclude with program highlights and adjourn. So that's that. So you've all shared your name, pronouns, and agency by now in the chat, but if you would like to open up the section to allow for you to share any announcements that you may have or that you want to provide an update to the group. So I don't know, we can just, whoever has an announcement can go ahead and share right now.
Hi, it's Michael Myers. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. I'm saying thank you to see you all again here. And you're catching us on the day before our third Evening with Kingdom Impact Theater program. It's our online program that is the third Thursday of each month. And tomorrow evening, March 17th at 7:17 p.m., we are presenting Artistic Women of Faith, which includes my wife, Vicki, and two actors that you may have heard or seen. One is Mimi Sagadan, who is in the current film Pulled from Darkness. And the other actor is Deanna Reed Foster. You will recognize her from the It's Not Complicated AT&T commercial. She's the voice actor. They'll be talking about working in ministry and faith and then the profession. And I'm going to throw a link in the chat, if that's all right, for further information. But I just wanted to extend that. It's a Women's History Month celebration. That was the key point. That's why we're doing that. This is a Women's History Month celebration. So I'm just throwing that in the chat and saying good morning.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Anybody else?
So Greater Family Health, it looks like, has an announcement.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. My name is Ishmael Cordova. My boss, Lorena Nunez, normally comes to these meetings, but I'm just swinging by to let everybody know that so Greater Family Health is a federally qualified health center. We just opened up our 10th health center in Palatine, but we have other locations such as Hanover Park, Streamwood, Elgin, DeKalb, and all over the state of Illinois. One thing that's really really important for our communities is COVID-19 testing. Although we are moving to a segue of our state where we're not wearing masks and all of that, which is great, right? We want to get post-COVID as much as possible. We still want to be sure that our community members have access to quality testing options if they are ever exposed. So the one thing that our organization is doing at Greater Family Health is we are offering at-home COVID-19 test kits for all community members. They do not need to be patients of ours. That also goes to organizations in our local service areas. So if your organization or your business is interested in having a bulk supply, so meaning more than 500 at-home test kits available for your clients or for any of the people that kind of go through your organization, including your employees, you can always feel free to reach out to me and we can get that that special order for you so you can pick it up from any of the local health centers to your organization. Lastly, I did want to introduce our newest team member. She may be familiar to some of you all, Andrea. She is joining us as a community outreach liaison as of this week. So she'll be your point person when it comes to Greater Family Health. So I just wanted to let her introduce herself real quick and thank you guys for your time.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to put a face to the name, but yes, I'm familiar with Kenneth Young Center, and I'm really excited to be over here at Greater Family Health. I'll put my email as well in the chat, but it's really nice to see you all and to be able to hopefully work with you all in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other announcements?
It looks like Trickster has an announcement.
Hey, everyone, just wanted to let everyone know that beginning in June, we will be having a space in the gallery for a youth art display. So it'll be our youth gallery space, and it's for any and all youth to help to come out, showcase their work, also get experience with art curation, how to be involved in an art show and the ins and outs. It's more of a learning experience for our young artists, but also a way for artists to be able to showcase their work on a smaller scale, as opposed to a daunting big art display. So the calendar will be opening up fairly soon, but we do have our first exhibition in June with the Kenneth Young Center.
Awesome. Thank you, Gina. Anybody else?
Yes, I have two really quick ones. One, Sunday is our co-chair's birthday, and he is still out recovering. So if anyone would like to send a birthday card to him, to Joe Podlasic, he's one of our founding members of the coalition. Could you please mail it to Trickster, 190 South Roselle Road, Schaumburg, 60193. So if you could get that to Trickster or drop it off at Trickster by Saturday, I'll be happy to drop it off at Joe's house on Sunday. So it would be great for Joe to receive several, I would love to take him a basket of birthday cards. Secondly, our Pride Fest will be at Trickster again this year on June 11th, and we're looking for volunteers, but we really would love to have gay straight alliances, GSAs that is, to come out and be a part of it. It's on a Saturday in the evening from 5 to 9 p.m. So please email me, shireenp@kennethyoung.org for more information. So any of the school liaisons who are on here and anyone else who has connection to the LGBTQ community, please let me know. We have a planning meeting scheduled for April 6th at Trickster. So just let me know if you or your, and also allies are welcome to help out as well. So we're looking for middle school and high school age folks. It is very family friendly Pride Fest. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Shireen. Anybody else? Okay, so we'll move on right now. So if you have any announcements that you think of throughout the meeting that you want to share, please pop them into the chat. Otherwise, let's move on. So this is a summary of our CPYD Coalition Executive Committee members. Just so you're all aware, some of them are here and will be presenting throughout the meeting. And this is a summary of our community collaboration team, our leadership team rather, at Kenneth Young Center. So these are your main contacts for programming and if you have any questions regarding project updates or collaboration in the future. Okay, now we're going to move into our Youth Advisory Council updates. So we have a couple Youth Advisory Council members who are in attendance and will be providing us with some report outs. We'll start off with Youth Advocates for Change, Aria and Sachi.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so again, hello, everyone, and thank you so much for your time. My name is Aria Shah. I was in the video. I'm a YAC leader, and I'm also a junior at CONIT, and I go by she, her pronouns. Really quick, before we share any news, I just kind of wanted to start by saying thank you, because at our last coalition meeting, we talked about our concerns surrounding sexual assault and sexual violence in District 211, and we had a really good conversation about it. We made some important connections with coalition members, and because of the support that we received, we've been able to put together a toolkit for schools who want to participate in Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is in April. So we're going to kick off this event with a survivor blanket making event on Sunday, March 27th, and that will be from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Kenneth Young Center. This event is sponsored by Northwest CASA and March for Our Lives Palatine. And if you guys know Natasha Javeri, she introduced this event to us. So the next thing is on Wednesday, April 6th, which is the Sexual Assault Awareness Month National Day of Action. We are inviting students at Conant, Fremd, and hopefully other schools as well to wear teal, the color of sexual assault awareness. We are also hoping that we're providing students and participants with teal ribbons and information on preventing sexual violence as well as supporting survivors. Another thing we might do is give teal ribbons or teal pins to teachers to put up in their classrooms to let students know that
Okay.
they are a safe space. If anyone needs
Thank
to
you.
talk or anything like that. And then throughout April, different schools are doing different things. So the YAC connected with the student wellness committees, and we kind of talked about what plans we had, what we kind of wanted to do for the month of April. And so yeah, like I said, different schools are doing different things. So what the YAC is doing specifically is providing participants with posters, handouts, infographics, and social media post ideas. And then at the end of April, which is on Wednesday, April 27th, students will be invited to participate in Denim Day, which is where you wear denim. And the whole point of it is that the day seeks to dismantle the blame on the victim. So if you or your agency is interested in these sexual assault awareness materials, please share your email and your request in the chat, and I can get you more information on the materials we have. I can also put my email in the chat if anyone needs it. And then if you have any other questions about Sexual Assault Awareness Month, please feel free to put those in the chat as well. Also, at our last in-person meeting, Sachi Demon from Lake Park High School joined us, and she and another Lake Park student are interested in starting a YAC at their school. So Sachi is here today, and Sachi, is there anything that you want to share?
I was talking to some people, if anybody has any questions or like resources or any ideas on something to bring to Lake Park, I'm available. I can put my email in the chat, and just like as Aria said, like what we're trying to do at Kenneth Young, like she has more information on that because it's my first meeting here. So thank you for having me. And again, I'll leave my email in the chat if any. Thank you.
Thank you. And sorry for the background noise, by the way, but there is one more thing that the YAC has to share. So the next main thing that we're focusing on is occurring May 11th, 2022, and it is the town hall meeting. We've been working pretty hard on the theme, and we're pretty excited about it, so we hope you like it as well. But more than anything, we hope that you will join us at the Trickster Cultural Center on May 11th. So Natasha and I recorded a video with all of the information about the town hall theme, so we're gonna play that right now. Hey, Natasha.
Hey, Aria.
So, you know why we're here today, right?
I do.
Then let's get right to it. The nominees for this year's town hall meeting theme are Prevention Inventions with Intention, Youth Advocates for Change Orchestra Extravaganza, Suburban Window Box Farming to Prevent Underage Drinking, and CPYD Night on the Red Carpet.
Aria?
Yes, Natasha?
What was that?
Oh, I thought I'd introduce the theme this way.
Or maybe we should have a drum roll.
Ooh, I like that idea. Here, let me help. Drum roll, please.
And the winner is CPYD Night on the Red Carpet. This event to celebrate our sector celebrities and their work in prevention will take place on Wednesday, May 11th at Trickster Cultural Center, beginning at 6:30 p.m.
We look forward to seeing you there.
We really do. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so there's our theme for the town hall event. Thank you, the Youth Advisory Council, for all your hard work so far in planning it, and we're looking forward to being there. So save the date, everybody, May 11th. Okay, now we'll move on to our next update from the Elk Grove High School Youth Advisory Council.
All right, so I'm gonna have two of my students present. First, if we can have one of the directors go, and then one of the participants for Snowball. So, Michelle.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and I was one of the directors this Snowball in 2022. First of all, I want to thank, because it was a great experience. From the last years I've been in Snowball, being a participant and a leader, and now getting the opportunity to be a director was a really nice experience. I enjoyed as a director, looking how a lot of people got out of their comfort zones, trying new things. And after being in pandemic and in quarantine a lot of time, we got to enjoy Snowball in person again, which make me, the leaders and everyone involved in the activities, like nervous, but at the same time excited. It was a really great experience getting to see people enjoying the activities, trying to incorporate themselves in their groups, getting to know new people, and just having fun. It was like a really great experience, and it was an opportunity to get on my own comfort zone, talk and try to take people out of their own comfort zones and have fun with them. It was a really great experience.
Hi, my name is Sochi Galvan. This year was my first time experiencing Snowball. Going into Snowball, I was really nervous and scared. I didn't want to be there. I don't really do good with social interactions, so being there really was taking me out of my comfort zone. Throughout Snowball, I started getting out of my comfort zone. My leaders were really nice. They made the setting really comfortable and made it a vulnerable setting for you to let out your feelings and be able to talk to everyone without anyone judging you or anyone saying bad things about you. Everyone was really nice and really helpful. The activities, I really enjoyed the activities. They would make you see yourselves the way others see you as well, or they make you as well feel better about yourself. Snowball, I think, is a really good thing that everyone should incorporate. I would invite my friends to do it as well next year. I really, really enjoyed it, and the leaders and everyone and the teachers and the staff, everyone was really well and really nice. They made it such a fun time, and they made it such a comfortable place for you, and they made it, and the setting was really beautiful as well. Every leader had their own ideas to decorate their room. It was very beautiful. I would really want to do it again next year.
Great, thank you, Sochi and Michelle. Ray, do you have any other updates from the EGGYAC or no?
We're just getting ready for helping with the town hall and then National Prevention Week. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so now we're going to move into our CPYD Coalition Basics. Beth Farr is going to be leading us through this brief section. Beth, if you want to take it away.
Sure. So I am the social work department chair for Schaumburg School District 54. I've been a part of the coalition since the first meeting in 2014. So it's a pleasure to be sharing this information with you today. So today our meeting is called You Are Here. The data and strategic planning team included this section because back in September, there was a survey of members, and it was suggested that a review and an overview of the coalition basics would be a good idea for everyone. As you know, this coalition is 8 years old this April. And for some of you, this is the first meeting. For some of you, you have been to other meetings before. And some of you, it's your first year, and some of you have been there since the beginning. So we welcome everyone. As the community is as the communities for positive youth development, we know that local problems require local solutions. We know that we've heard from our YAC students, we know it takes a coalition with all of us working together to create a healthy, safe, supportive, and productive community. But we're going to look at now how this got started, and we're going to take a quick look through some of this information. So we really can't talk about the coalition without going back 30 years prior to now, where this all got started. This was the response to a national overdose epidemic in the country. And the federal government spent 3 years looking at solutions and trying to figure out what the best approach was. And what they determined was that it was not going for a national approach. It was really more that local approach. So what came out of that work was that local problems require local solutions. So in this graphic here, we have the coalition and we have all these different sectors represented. So knowing that all of those people are part of the community and all of those organizations are part of the solution. Since the coalition started, they've been using evidence-based strategies and coordinated efforts, and it's brought substance misuse rates down as much as 35% in some communities, which is very impressive. Our communities for positive youth development started almost exactly 8 years ago. 125 members, community members, came to a town hall meeting. It took place at Trickster Art Gallery, where we still have a lot of our functions. It's now called Trickster Cultural Center. And everyone gathered to talk about the concern about underage drinking and opioid use in our community. So that was how it started. It started small. So there was one grant, I believe, if I'm correct and remember back accurately. And it was for underage drinking and trying to get that, to get those rates down. And as you can see here, the coalition is much larger now. So we have the overarching coalition. It serves Chicago's northwest suburbs. Over 50 community partner agencies are part of this coalition. And now connected to more than 10 grants. So seeing that growth from that 1 grant or 2 grants to now 10, it seems like every meeting we have, there's another grant and another initiative, and it's great to see all of that growing so much. We're supported by the executive committee and then 5 subcommittees and 3 youth advisory councils or YACs, with 2 more YACs forming. So pretty soon we'll have 5. Some of the accomplishments that have happened over the last 8 years is that we've provided youth prevention education for over 7,000 students. We've trained over 1,000 social workers and service providers in LGBTQ+ competency. And I know our district was very happy to be able to take in it. A lot of our social workers attended some of those sessions, as well as many social workers around the area. We made LGBTQ+ supports available to every middle school, high school, and college in the northwest suburbs. Built smart recovery groups available to every demographic, served our community through free HIV testing, provided housing for youth experiencing homelessness, promoting the national drug take-back movement has been a big part as well, and overall addressing the health disparities and providing education around diversity, racial equity, and inclusion. Our vision has been to provide a health, safe, supportive, and productive community, or to get to that point. The mission has been to organize and educate and engage the community to prevent youth substance use and other harmful behaviors, and to promote recovery-oriented systems of care across the lifespan. I think that's something I have seen as well. As we started out with youth focus, and it's really grown. We know that we can address a lot of different issues together. The process is with the coalition model is again using those evidence-based strategies to address these issues. And then by using local data and strategic planning, including all the partners that you see here today, especially youth and persons with lived experience. That's been really important to get that input. The coalition operates from a comprehensive strategic plan to coordinate prevention, intervention, and recovery services for the community as a whole. As we know and we've seen today, youth are at the heart of everything that we do. When I remember one of the first meetings, there was a YAC and we had a few youth there. Now the representation is just amazing and having so many people involved. So we're very thankful for their leadership and helping us to move forward. So I know they always thank the coalition, but I think the thanks go both ways for that. So here we are today continuing that work, and we appreciate everyone being here to help support that. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Beth, for your years of service and for your leadership and support through all these years. So thank you. Any questions at this time, about the coalition basics, or comments or anything people want to bring up? Okay, well, we're glad to have you all, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Okay, so coalition business. So we're going to be conducting a vote today for our new vice chair. So as we mentioned, we have an executive committee made up of different partners. We have our two co-chairs, Yasi and Joe, but we haven't had a vice chair in quite a few years. And so John Wiley has volunteered to serve in that role for the coalition. He is Director of Business Development at Streamwood Behavioral Health. So let's see here. So we're gonna initiate a motion to vote for or to nominate John Wiley for vice chair. Would anybody like to second that motion?
Second.
Thank you, Ray. And then would anybody, I guess at this point, we'll just bring it up to a larger vote. If you could please indicate in the chat if you would like to officially I guess agree with that motion of nominating John Wiley or having him be the vice chair for the coalition. If you could indicate in the chat a yes, or if you have or nay, I guess, if you have any concerns. And then we'll take that up. We'll look at the chat in a second. Give everybody a minute here. But yeah, John Wiley, he's currently the chair for our Data and Strategic Planning Subcommittee, and he's been pretty active in our executive committee as well, representing the healthcare sector. So,
thank you for the vote of confidence.
Oh, thank you. Hi, John. I didn't see you there. Anything you want to share about your experience or what you're looking forward to in this role?
Really looking to bring sales and marketing expertise and learn from you all as well. Share some of my thoughts and experiences that I've been working in the behavioral health arena, and to make it all quick, but also share some of the contacts and resources that I have for Springboard. So being on the board with the Boys and Girls and Springboard. So trying to make those fun with any change and help. And like I said, this really, I would like to be a resource. Any questions for John?
Okay, thank you. Sounds good. Okay, so looks like we're ready to officially, yeah, you've been nominated vice chair. So moving forward, we'll have our two vice chairs, our vice chair. In our last meeting, we had, we nominated and voted for Ray Galarza to be our treasurer. So that's a new position too that we now have. So thank you all, and now we'll move forward. Congratulations, John, and thank you. Okay, our upcoming subcommittee meetings. We have our PYD subcommittee, which serves Hanover Township. It's going to be meeting March 24th. Elk Township is going to be meeting April 6th. Data and Strategic Planning, April 13th. And I don't believe we have a new date for our North Suburban Community Network, but will, yeah, that's for our LGBTQ plus specific group. Shireen, do you have a new meeting date for that group, or is that the planning meeting for the Pride Fest event?
The planning meeting is on April 6th at Trickster, and I don't recall the start time. I think it's like a 4 to 5. I think it's 4 to 5:15. That's the planning meeting. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then the event, of course, is June 11th. And we are, someone did send a private chat asking me if we were looking for partners as well as people to have booths and whatnot. And so yes to that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so that concludes the coalition business now. Sophia, are you here?
Yes.
Yes, so Sophia Bashrati from Northwestern University will be presenting now. I'll have her share her screen. But basically right now, the Students Consulting for Nonprofit Organizations is going to be providing you with a summary of their final report that they delivered to us last week. Thank you. There we go. So basically, Kenneth Young Center coordinated or partnered up with the student-led group at Northwestern University on a couple deliverables to see how we can better serve the community. So go ahead and take it away, Sophia, and your team.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name's Sophia Besharati, and I'll just get my team members to introduce themselves as well.
Hi, I'm Lily Naveau.
Maya Hardas.
And we, as Mariam mentioned, are a group of students from Northwestern University, and we are part of SCNO, which stands for Student Consulting for Nonprofit Organizations, which is a Northwestern student organization that takes on nonprofit clients and offers free consulting services based on what the clients ask for, and work with a group of clients throughout the quarter to create final deliverables, including a final presentation, which we'll share a bit with you today, as well as a final deliverable, which in this case is about a 40-page document that has more details on what we mentioned. So we'll just provide a bit of an overview on our findings for the quarter. So first is a general overview of what SCNO was asked to complete by KYC. SCNO was asked by KYC to research and create recommendations in the 3 following areas. First, SCNO was asked to create an academic research workstream to create best practices and recommendations on how to look at academic journals and academic articles on youth development to inform KYC services in the future. Next, SCNO was asked to conduct a needs and resource assessment by looking at protective factors from academic research and identifying gaps in community services and how to fill those gaps in the future. And finally, SCNO was asked to conduct interview protocol analysis and kind of giving best practices for when conducting community interviews, as well as recommending tools and softwares that can be used to analyze responses from community interviews. With that, I'll hand it off to Lily to start talking about academic research.
Thank you, Sophia. So part of our work for KYC involves conducting research on positive youth development and also providing recommendations for how KYC can continue this research in the future. So with that, SCNO created a guide on academic research. It begins with an explanation on how to select keywords and guiding questions. Then SCNO recommended relevant journals on youth development and how to access them without a Northwestern login. Then SCNO created a tracking sheet for organizing the findings from all of the articles we reviewed. And then we also provided a template for that tracking sheet. We also compiled a folder with all of the PDFs of the articles that we read, just so that KYC can access them anytime in the future and also without having access to the Northwestern Library. And then finally, we discussed the benefits and drawbacks of various methods for presenting results. So based on our research, SCNO recommends that KYC includes identity-based mentorship, youth feedback, and community engagement into their positive youth development work. Identity-based mentorship is important just to ensure that the mentoring relationship is as beneficial as possible. And along those same lines, the program leader should be a member of the group that they are mentoring, just to create the most safe environment in the program. And then secondly, SCNO recommends that youth have the ability to give direct feedback to their program leaders. This is important because it gives them a sense of control over their education and also ensures that the content is as up to date as possible. This would look similarly to KYC's current Youth Advisory Council, but rather than having youth serve as intermediaries, SCNO recommends that KYC implement a more direct avenue for feedback, like an anonymous feedback form, or simply beginning each session with norm setting. And then finally, SCNO recommends that KYC include an element of community engagement, such as community service or political action, into their youth development program. Research has shown that engaging in the surrounding community helps youth contextualize the potential systemic issues that they may face, and also just helps them foster new connections within the immediate community. And also community engagement does generally give people a sense of fulfillment and purpose in life. So with that, I will pass it to Amaya to talk about the needs and resource assessment.
So SCNO is tasked with finding a couple of protective factors for LGBTQ youth and identifying gaps in the services related to that. So some of the protective factors we analyzed were a supportive family, a sense of community, feeling safe at school, and access to therapeutic support. And based on those protective factors, we tried to analyze if there were any gaps in current KYC services. So SCNO identified some additional programming to address the protective factors, which were pretty well touched upon by the current services offered by KYC. But just to expand upon a couple was whole family programming, where families would get the opportunity to interact with each other and maybe gain new connections. BIPOC Advisory Council, where maybe a set allotment of time could be spent talking about issues that specifically relate to intersectionality, and increased social programming, which would give more kids the opportunity to connect with each other. And with that, I'll pass it back to Sophia to talk about interview protocol.
Thanks, Amaya. So next, SCNO looked into interview protocol for when conducting community interviews and finding out community trends to inform KYC services. First, SCNO created a guidebook to train key informant interviewers that included guides on how to ask probing questions to ensure that the interviews extract qualitative data without influencing responses, and that is included in the final deliverable. And SCNO also created a quick tip sheet with a list of reminders for interviewers to look at before and during interviews to ensure that they're engaging interviewees and minimizing influencing the data from interviews. SCNO then looked at different softwares that can be used for data analysis and analyzing those community interviews. And SCNO recommends the following 5 softwares, all of which are free. First, SCNO recommends the use of the Jamovi platform, which is great for quantitative data analysis and can conduct things like t-tests, which can help you tell the significance between different answers in different communities. SCNO also recommends the KenQ analysis tool, which can help gauge political statements and spectrums, as well as stereotypes and experiences. As for qualitative data analysis, SCNO recommends the use of Taget, which can help mark up transcripts of community interviews, as well as databasic.io and Voyant tools, which can be used to glean major themes from interviews by looking through the transcript and creating graphs and diagrams of what words were used most commonly to glean key themes that way. As for next steps following these recommendations, SCNO encourages that KYC take the following next steps for these implementation. First, SCNO recommends that KYC review the academic research guide to glean those key themes from those journals and articles that we've recommended. SCNO also recommends that KYC evaluate the identified gaps in services and plan to fill those gaps in the ways also mentioned in that final deliverable. And finally, SCNO recommends that KYC train members in the previously mentioned software to analyze interview results and responses. Thank you guys so much for listening. I will also send, we're happy to answer any questions at this time if anything came up. And I'll also send the link to our website just so you can kind of get more information and context on SCNO and what that does within the community. And we're always open to help other nonprofit organizations. So feel free to apply if you think that would help your organization in any way. But thank you so much. And we're free to answer any questions.
All right, thank you, Sophia, and the entire SCNO team. Thank you guys for making yourselves available to present to the coalition. So it was just a real pleasure working with you, and yeah, I would advise any other agency to reach out to the SCNO team at Northwestern University. It's a great team, and they're really able to address any gaps that you feel may need to be I guess addressed, or help you out with any research or any other projects that you have coming up. So I encourage everybody to apply for one of their grants. Okay, now we'll go ahead and share again our screen. Let's see here. And then we're going to move into our next section. Let's see here, open it up again. Okay, so our next section is going to be the responsible gambling capacity building presentation. It's going to be led by Daryl Pass. Daryl, do you want to get started?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. So we're just going to run through this with responsible gambling, better and brighter future with the hashtag #BetOnYou. So what is gambling? Gambling is a risk of goal-winning uncertainty, risking something or an activity or event which the outcome is uncertain, something of material value. What is problematic gambling disorder, also known as pathological gambling, compulsive gambling, or gambling disorder? This means that a person cannot control the urge or impulse to gamble, even if they know the possibility of negative consequences. It is that stimulates the reward and pleasure center of the brain. Types of gamblers. Recreational gamblers are casual social gamblers, serious social gamblers, relief and escape gamblers, professional and antisocial personalities. Problematic gambler is a problem, pathological, compulsive, which is action, escape, and disorder gambler. For every problem gambler, 8 to 10 significant others are impacted. What's impacted? Savings, credit rating, home, equity, material, possessions. The family can be held liable for debts. Financially comfortable, winning, financially devastation. Threats from loan sharks, bookies, creditors, and utilities. Loss of retirement or college tuition fund for children. That can last for many years after gambling stops. Gambling and substance use. Similarities: inability to stop, severe depression, mood swings, chasing, low self-esteem, and high ego. High of gambling similar to cocaine rush. The difference is hidden addiction, focus on money, fewer resources available for gamblers, lengthy period of time before hope becomes a reality. That's a big one. Gambling in older adults. With an average yearly income of $18,500, the financial vulnerability is why understanding risk factors is so crucial. Older adults are the fastest growing segment of people experiencing problem gambling. Many older adults gamble for emotional and social benefits. Gambling is one of the most frequently identified social activities among older adults. In 1975, 35% of seniors had gambled. In 1998, 80% of seniors had gambled. found this very interesting. The why for gambling: fun, mentally stimulating, loneliness, available and encouraged, many experiences of grief, boredom, helps with physical health or pain, gambling venues that feed the ego. Signs of problem gambling: loss of interest in normal activities, places higher priority on gambling, missing assets or possessions, or possessions, secrecy about money, neglect of personal needs, avoidance when questioned about time. Treatment issues: these are the grief and loss. Gambling losses accentuate other losses: loss of important people, loss of self-esteem and depression after money losses, loss of independence. Decreased cognitive abilities: evaluate cognitive abilities, review medications, evaluate for dementia. These medications for Parkinson's disease, restless leg syndrome, and psychosis create pathological gambling: Mirapex, Requip, and Abilify. Other treatment issues: treatment for recurring disorders, use empowerment, motivational model, use of support system, community, social services, family, friends, and church. Treatment issues in older adults: transportation, psychological health issues, depression and isolation, psychological health issues, mobility, cultural practices and religious beliefs, comfort issues, trouble sitting in chairs, like travel, lack of independent living, privacy using own vehicle. How to gamble responsibly. Think of gambling as an entertainment, not a way to make money. Only gamble with money you can afford to lose. Set a spending limit in advance. Bring limit in cash and leave credit, debit cards at home. Set a time limit in advance. Avoid using substances such as drugs or alcohol. Take a break. Make it a purpose to not gamble when you're depressed or upset. Balance gambling with other activities and make it a purpose to not chase your losses. How to help others. Encourage the person to talk to a professional. Suggest SMART or other behavioral addiction counseling. Use the 1-800-GAMBLER or text. Visit weknowthefeeling.org. You can use this QR code to take a quiz. And again, there's a 1-800-GAMBLER or the website weknowthefeeling.org. How can I help you work with older adults with gambling or disorder? What are the tools, resources, etc. that may be provided? How can we reduce gambling disorder stigma within the older adult population? And how can I help you help our older adults? Hashtag We Know the Feeling campaign. It targets populations, men of all ages, adults over the age of 55, adolescents between the ages of 14 and 26. We Know the Feeling program goals: problem gambling, healthcare of the problem, professionals about gambling, raise awareness for problem gambling, and include again the hashtag weknowthefeeling.org website and 1-800-GAMBLER. Also provide brief community interventions by conducting brief community interventions. Sorry about that. Community outreach, provide resources for the community, problem gambling support resource card, awareness campaigns, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, billboards, gender fencing advertisement, community posters, gambling healthcare assessments, community presentations, youth, adult, general population, seniors, and providers to specialized populations. We have these billboards up and active right now. The March billboards, our odds are better when we recover together. and bet on a brighter future. Here's some of the advertisements that we have going around right now. And again, as you can see, the 1-800-GAMBLING number and the We Know the Feeling website address is attached to each one of these. This is one of the tables that we had set up at an event, which was very successful. Dan Hanners, who I'm filling in for today, set this up, and it's amazing. It really, really is amazing. Be a resource site. Again, we have resource cards. We have peel-off window stickers, social media graphic stickers, that hashtag We Know the Feeling website. Again, that's really impactful, along with the 800 number. We have the flyers, and here's Dan Hanners' name and direct email. Any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. He will be happy to assist in any way he can. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. Does anybody have any questions about gambling or problematic gambling? Any of the resources we provide, services through KYC or the toolkit?
This is Michael. I have 3 short, quick ones. Here's one. What is chasing?
Chasing is no different than, and that's why it was attached to substance use. When you just have this urge, this need, this vigorating feeling to reach a certain point, to gravitate towards something. It's an obsessive, motivating feeling.
Okay. The next question is, how has sports gambling, as it's become so popular in commercials and all, have you quantified any effect that that popularity has on youth or seniors?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Dan is working on some information about that right now, because they go hand in hand. It's sensationalizing gambling. For some folks, it's a huge trigger, but in addition to that, it's no different than for an individual who is abstinent from substance use, seeing a beer commercial or an alcohol commercial. A person who no longer smokes, who's addicted to nicotine, seeing nicotine advertisement. It all goes hand in hand.
So just because I might, if I were alcoholic, for example, see a beer commercial, does not necessarily mean that I'm going to give in to the temptation.
Not necessarily, right?
Okay. And then the last one is, if I understood correctly, or could you explain further the connection between gambling and grief loss? Have you, for example, observed that when someone's grieving, they're more likely to begin some sort of recreational gambling?
It's funny you should bring that up, and I don't mind being transparent. I was telling my colleagues and friends before this call, my mother got off into gambling after my brother met his demise through COVID. She picked up that, and it was, for a moment, it was soothing for her. It was something that took her outside of everything else, and it did something for her in the time that she was immersed in that. And it was difficult for us because although that's our sibling, that's a child of hers that she lost. So, but again, it kind of took off into something because she became addicted to it, if I can use that word. She did. It became too much of a soothing amenity for her, and she had to really get a hold of herself. So people use that because it fills a void. There's a reason why you go to the casinos and it's all the lights and that all that stuff is there that pulls you in, and you just get caught up.
Great. Thank you. Those are my questions. Appreciate it, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, so thank you all for that. So obviously, we'll paste, Ethel, can you paste that link into the chat? So folks have access to that ordering form to order materials for responsible gaming resources and promotion. So the reason why we're talking about gambling today is because March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month. So it's a national initiative, and obviously wanted to highlight that the services that we provide and collaborations that we have. So Dan and our team are available to present to your staff. We can base the presentations off of individual target audiences. So we've done presentations for youth, the youth advisory councils, for older adults, obviously, which was somewhat of our target audience, not target audience today, but the focus today, as well as because it's a priority audience for the grant itself. And then we've also done presentations for those in social workers, people who work in treatment facilities. So Dan and his team are able to tailor presentations and materials based on what you need. So please reach out. Next up, we're gonna do, we typically have our KYC project highlights during this part of the meeting, but we actually have them on our cpydcoalition.org website. So since we have time, we're just gonna go ahead and share these highlights with you for a second. So give me a minute while I load the screen. In the meantime, if anybody from our KYC team has anything to share, any upcoming events that you want to make sure people are aware of, or updates other than those listed on the website, or if anybody else wants to take a chance and not take a chance, but take a moment and share any updates. Let me load this.
I do have to correct that the planning meeting on the 6th is from 4 to 5:15. So that was an error. I apologize. And great job, Daryl. I did have a follow-up question for Daryl. I know that you run smart recovery programs, and typically you advertise and it's around substance use. Could a person who is struggling with gambling issues, could they attend those smart recovery groups?
Absolutely, because SMART deals with not only substance use, but addictive behaviors as well. And I'm glad you brought that up, because we do have one individual on our Wednesday group who was immersed in the gambling situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And actually, while we're doing this, maybe Daryl, you might want to share about, not too deep, of course, which I know you won't, but Daryl has also been working with some alternative schools. Do you want to give an update on what you've been doing, how you've been doing smart recovery, implementing that in some of the schools over in 214, I guess it is?
Yeah. One of the things with SMART, the 4 pillars, in case you folks don't know, SMART is the acronym for self-manage and recovery training. And so it deals with 4 pillars. And those 4 pillars are behavior and thoughts, motivation, coping with urges, and living a balanced lifestyle. And I find that incorporating that with the situation that the kids are going through, because the vaping and these behaviors that they're exhibiting within the schools has become so impactful to the educational staff that they are grasping at other resources to assist. And one of my, I'm so proud of this, examples is North Cook, the alternative school in Des Plaines, where I first started it off. And the students are really responding to it. Last year, I started with 1 class. It is expounded now to 5. And so I teach the kids, we talk about the behavior and the thoughts. We talk about the motivation. One of the things that I really, really hone in on is asking them, what's their relationship with this substance that they're using? You know, what is your relationship with marijuana? Now, with that being stated, we do have a few of them that are immersed in other things, but when you put that in front of them and really meet them where they're at, we get into the root of some of these issues. And I also have to say that some of these kids are up against so much at home. I have 4 kids now whose parents are on my adult smart recovery because they struggle with substance use. So it's a huge deal. And again, if you look at those 4 pillars where we're talking to these kids about behavior and thoughts, these urges they have, what's the motivation behind all of this, and how can they be better? Yesterday, we had one of our restorative smart sessions, which I'm so proud of. Marian Lopez and Michelle Barron and I, put this together, and we're advertising it to other schools, and it is going well. We had 6 kids on yesterday who were caught vaping on school premises, and as an alternative to the parents receiving that, and I'm going to say it, that ridiculous $250 ticket. And I say that because, Shereen, you set me up for this, because here I go. How can you, a mother who's trying to struggle to put food on the table, you're gonna load her with a $250 ticket for her kid? So we're trying to do something different in accommodating these kids, and so many of them want to be heard. I had a young lady on yesterday. She's a straight A student. She's on the track team. She has some unbelievable goals in mind, but she enjoys smoking every once in a while, and she is just beating herself up because she did a stupid thing and got caught with it on premises. And so when I'm asking her about her relationship with this substance and how can she have done things better and how was this hindering her, what comes out is unbelievable. It really is. It really is unbelievable. And so she has made a commitment to herself, because she had a track meet that she could not attend because she's on suspension. And that really just rocked her. And I let them know that they're so much better than that. And one of the other things that I always throw out to them is, tell me something positive about yourself. So the Restorative Smart, we're so proud of that here at Kenneth Young. It's really taking off, and we're just getting to the root. We're just getting started with this, really, of how we can use that smart format to be impactful with these students in need and walk alongside the educators as assistants to them to kind of make the situations a little better. Long answer to a short question. I'm sorry.
All right, we had time, but it's great though, because as the schools know, we've with all of the different programs that we've always had dollars for prevention, and then now we have dollars for recovery, but we've not had dollars for that intervention. And so it's nice that we're able to use our recovery dollars for intervention, as well as like our Teen Reach program. Also, we're able to do intervention strategies, as well as our Community Youth Services grant. We're allowed to do intervention strategies. So it's nice that, and it takes that one-on-one conversation in these situations. So it's great that we're now able to capture that, as the schools would probably call their tier 2, 2.5, if there's such a thing, students who are maybe right at the start of tier 3, or they're dabbling, but they wouldn't necessarily have a diagnosis, but they're a little bit past the prevention point. So I mean, there's always prevention is a daily thing, so I don't mean to say that, but you know what I mean. They're not tier 1 kids, is what I'm saying. Like a classroom prevention education program is not necessarily going to impact them the way a conversation with Daryl is going to impact them. And that's something that through our recovery program and our community services program, we can provide that type of services, that one-on-one to all of the schools in our service area, which is nice.
And I want to share one more thing real quick. Michelle Barron put together, I believe her and Marion put this together. We had a presentation for parents, educating them on social media. And we did that at Grove last Thursday. It was really, really good. Marion did the bilingual parents, and then we had 7 parents, myself and Ashley Foley. And I'm telling you, what parents were not aware of, in terms of the kids using social media, especially the Snapchat, to buy drugs, to bully, to be involved in different things. They were not aware of the impact that social media was having on their kids. And it just was a really, really good interaction. Awesome question and answer session at the end. And one of the parents, her kid has signed up for Youth Smart Recovery. So just, man, really that stigma piece across the board, removing that, increasing the knowledge, and just being involved and aware is how we're gonna be a part of the solution, just a part of the solution to negate some of this horrific situations that our kids are up against today.
Thank you, Daryl. I'm wondering if Crystal from the Teen Center, do you want to talk about your event that's coming up? I don't want to take up all the time.
Oh, sure. I do have a question for Daryl, though. Is it possible to have you come as a speaker to some of our teen centers? And our teens start like middle school. We do serve in Hanover Park schools, Elgin, Schaumburg, et cetera. I think that we'd love to have you come as a speaker, just to provide a program, and then we could refer students who would need those services.
That would be awesome. I would be more than happy to do that.
Okay, thank you. And then our event basically is an open house, and the school resource officers for the local high schools and detectives, they are hosting that event. They came up with the idea, pizza will be served, and it's just a way for students in the area to see what we have to offer with our Boys and Girls Club. With that, with what we offer, students don't have to come every single day. They can come, 1 to up to 5 days a week. And sorry, I'm at home right now. And we have some construction going on, so my dogs are saving my life by letting me know that people are around. But anyway, we do they are rescue dogs, so they're really excited. But we do have a huge need right now, I think, to get these early middle school kids, because that's where we see students start to go down a path that we can prevent them from all of this. We're all on the same page. And as a parent of 2 21-year-old daughters, I was the single mom, and one of my kids, Daryl, was caught smoking. And that $250 fine, if you're a single mom working 2 jobs, listen, all that did was bring more stress. So you're preaching to the choir today. So I really have a heart for reaching these middle school kids, I think, and high school too. We just celebrated our Youth of the Year, and I want to put a plug out there for next year, because I don't know if everyone realizes the scholarships that we have available through ECC and Judson. And if anyone has connections at Harper College, we want to start partnering with them too. But these are kids, their stories are amazing. This is a youth leadership program, and our winner will be going to the state competition, and she'll win even more scholarships. So we have it every year. It's a chance for students to hone their interview, speech, public speaking, resume writing, and it's just a fabulous program. We had 12 students compete, and we just had our celebration last week, so it is fabulous. Thank you.
Well, that's incredible, Crystal. So we're not community collaboration for no reason. I will also say that just as Daryl goes out to the schools on site, if there's a need, that is something that our programs do offer. So it may or may not be Daryl, because I know Daryl's schedule gets kind of tight, but one of the things we also do is train the trainers. And part of the goal of our recovery programs is to train, to build as much, it's called recovery capital. And so our grant allows us to train other people or pay for other people, not for Smart Recovery, because we're not trained trainers. They're the trained trainers, but we have dollars set aside to train other people in the community to pay for their training. So if you have a staff member who would, after attending a few Smart Recovery programs, want to become certified in it, or if you want Daryl or someone from his team to come and host a Smart Recovery at the teen center for teens, because we do have a Smart for Teens. There is a curriculum specifically for teens, and it does work really well for middle schoolers. It's developmentally appropriate. They make adjustments. That is an offer. And then the other thing I was going to say is it sounds great, all of the programs that you're offering. Let us know if there are any holes in the skill building that either someone from our team or anyone else on the coalition might be able to fill, and then we can send that out to the full coalition, because we've got talent, the people on the coalition, we've got some skills. It's hard when we're not in person, but there are a lot
We
of
would
folks.
love all of that, Shireen. We would love
Yeah.
all of that. And we actually have some new leaders. We have a director of social and emotional learning, and we have a director of workforce development and a director of academic recovery, that all of them have the background and the passion to get that training and be able to deliver that to our youth throughout the year. So we're very much interested. I put my email in the chat, so I'd love to connect with you and see what we can do together.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
As Dawn says, it takes a coalition, because we can't serve all the youth in the area. We do not have the capacity. So we definitely need to be able to partner so that we can say, you're a little bit closer down, that way. So yeah, awesome. I'll turn it back to you, Marion.
Yeah, thank you for that. So like I said before, we usually share our project highlights at the meeting, but because we had so many other great things to discuss, we just decided to post them on our website. So we'll paste the link into the chat, but if you go under cpydcoalition.org and then events, coalition meeting, and then project highlights, you'll see some highlights, accomplishments since the last coalition meeting that we had in January that we want to highlight. So they're grouped by program area. So starting off with positive youth development, we heard from our Elk Grove High School students who led and participated in Operation Snowball in February. Then we also did hear from the Youth Advocates for Change about their Sexual Assault Awareness Month activities in the toolkit. So this is, again, stuff we've already talked about. The town hall meeting will take place on May 11th at Trickster. And Lake Park High School will be starting their new YAC in 2020 in the next school year. We're also starting 2 new groups at Springwood Middle School. F Empower will focus on topics that have to do with femininity and experience as a feminine person. The second group will be a group centering around masculinity and healthy ways of expressing masculinity for middle schoolers. So these were requested by the school. Regarding we talked about a little bit about Caught on Campus. So this is this is a separate group, but it's Caught on Campus, a new group at Hoffman Estates High School. They talk about SMART goals, resilience, motivation, and purpose. So it's a similar, where you're going to be using that same model with the class at Elk Grove Specialized Schools in the coming months. So again, trying to address students who have already started to engage in substance use. And then we wanted to highlight that we are hiring contractual workers for our Teen Reach program, which is after school programming at District 62 and District 59 middle schools. These are contractual positions. So if you know of anybody looking for part-time, well, less than part-time, but 17.5 hours a week, on average $20 an hour, please have them apply there. And yeah, so Teen Reach is currently serving 10 students in District 62 and 25 students in District 59. Our Q Center, the Pride Fest, June 11th from 5 to 9 at Trickster. And then here's a list of the programs that we offer through the LGBTQ Center. Substance use prevention, the main thing we want to highlight here is Drug Take Back is coming up on April 30th from 10 to 2 p.m. So from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and we'll be partnering with Elk Grove, Palatine, and hopefully Schaumburg Police Departments. Recovery supports, we have our new group, Smart Recovery for Family and Friends. And then there's a flyer. We also have adult, youth, and LGBTQ plus Smart Recovery. And public health services, we talked about gaming already. STI prevention, we're looking for somebody for a peer outreach worker, so somebody who's part of the targeted high-risk community, which is transgender and Black and Latino men who have sex with men, so MSM. So there's the application, the link to apply for that position or to share with people who you think might be interested. But in a nutshell, those are a few, not a few, but some of the highlights we wanted to share about our programming. You can always visit our CPYD Coalition website for more updates, but other than that, we don't have any more content to cover today. So thank you all for joining us. This is our last coalition meeting in this format, and then we'll be meeting again, hopefully, at our town hall meeting on May 11th. So unless anybody else has something else to add, thank you so much for your support and for taking time out of your busy schedules. And thank you. See you in May.